Okay, what's up? I'm gonna go over how to draw a Dilophasaurus skull. I'm gonna be using this brush pen I've been kind of addicted to lately, and regular printing paper. So that's pretty much it. Let's jump into Dilophasaurus the dinosaur. Also, don't forget if you like drawing lessons on skulls and cool stuff like that, tattoo designs, hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification. Sorry, I get some gas in my. Oh, I was gonna belch. I was like, I don't want to belch on camera. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna go to the front. I'm gonna kind of mark it off loosely here. You can kind of do that with this brush pen. I notice you kind of loosely block it up and then draw it in there. See how loose that is? And I'm gonna there's a large crest on the Dilophosaurus skull. I noticed. Dilophosaurus was that fan-looking one in Jurassic Park, the first movie, and he also has like a cleft in its lip, kind of very similar to oh, what is that called? Oh my god, what am I talking about? Oh, very similar to the Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus has a cleft in its lip as well, in its bone structure. I'm not sure what that's about, to be honest. But I'm sure there's articles about it. I just haven't read yet. Gonna go over here, finding the back part. The thing is, these things are relatively what's it called? You can kind of fool around with them because they are skeletal systems, right? They are skulls, and skulls can form in different ways. If you look at our skulls, there's different variations to human skulls, and so there's a lot of leeway that you can kind of do. So that's gonna be the eye socket right there. Over here is another hole that dinosaurs tend to have. I forgot the name of it. They have a name right here for basically where these muscles insert, and I cannot remember the name of this gap that I'm about to draw there. And then over here is a nasal cavity, right? That's a little bit close, to be honest. It should be a little bit back here, but close enough. Gonna go over here down, and I'm gonna start pulling out the teeth here a little bit. One thing about the teeth I want you to remember is the teeth are very how do you say that? Try to vary the size of the teeth because animals in general, they have varied tooth sizes. So I actually have two of these replicas. They're cheap though too, by the way. They're like I'm gonna find like a website to post in the description. If I didn't find it, go look at the description. But if I didn't put it, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of cool replica skulls on that you can draw from on different sites, and I highly recommend getting them because I have the same skull from like when I first started drawing 15 years ago. It's like a human replica skull. You can always draw from these skulls. I use a human one more than other ones, obviously, because human skulls come up a lot more than dinosaur skulls. But I still recommend getting different replicas. If you can get a real fossil, that'd be cool. But I don't know if it's probably going to be really expensive. Like the replica skulls for the Dilophosaurus, is I think the replica drawing the lower part of the mouth here. The replica skull was like $20 or something off Amazon. I will definitely link it if I think it was off Amazon. I'd have to look. Not sure if it was Amazon or not, but I'll try to link it then. I'll definitely link it since I'm saying this so much. But it's pretty crazy how beautiful of a replica you can get for so little. Sometimes. I mean, I wanted like a larger T-Rex skull. You can get a medium T-Rex skull, but larger T-Rex skull replica. There's a 3D printed one that I got for $100. That one's pretty cool. But I guess a more realistic looking one's gonna be a bit pricier. I think I also have a smaller T-Rex replica that I put on my desk. I'm putting the teeth in the back as well here. Again, a lot of this stuff is kind of like placeholdery, right? I'm kind of going loose and placing this stuff in there, and then I'm gonna go kind of more serious right now. I'm gonna put some lines here. I'm not sure what direction I want to go into it with it. I'm not sure if I want to shade it in completely black, that hole, or just kind of do this as I'm doing this. I'm kind of swatching it, these dark space, like swatching these dark spaces more than actually filling them in point blank like a coloring book. Though I do have coloring books. Um, all right, kind of going in a little bit more. I want to put more emphasis over here on the eye because with like everything, the eye is almost always the center of attention. I'm gonna go over here the ridge, and what I'm trying to do is make that ridge look less flat. Right now, it looks very, very flat. So I'm drawing these small dash lines, which is very common in a lot of the kind of stuff that we do. Like stuff like the tattoos and things like that, like cross hatching. It's kind of like pseudo cross hatching, where you're kind of just doing it in one direction. Um, and the purpose of it is literally just so the form will read. You know, trying to make like even thin ones here, thin, thick. And this is for me one of the funnest things imaginable is being able to do that because that's where style really comes out. Would be in these kind of like the choices of like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like swatch it this way? Are you gonna do what are you gonna put in there? Are you gonna put little dots? That's kind of where the style really your personal art style will really start coming out because there's more decision making. There's definitely decision making in the drawing, of course, but like a lot more decision making in what kind of like I said this the toppings per se. I don't know what to call it. The icing on the cake. There's a lot more decision than the decorations rather than the framework. Although the framework it can be, of course, decision making. You're making decisions all the time. Um, but this is where, like I said, it's just kind of like for me personally, it's where I have a lot of fun. Just kind of messing around, and I can kind of just do this, and this is literally very similar to the way I just kind of draw for myself. It's very, very similar to this. I wanted to make it as real as I could doing this. This is very close to the way I draw in my own time. Because sometimes you have two different ways. When you do it during a demo, then like I am going a little quicker than I normally would, I would say. But you know, doesn't it's not like as far as the process goes, I didn't put in the framework or anything like that for this. I didn't feel like I needed to. Usually the scaffolding and framework is for stuff that you're not totally sure about. You're like, that might get out of proportion really quick, so I better fix that. Or I better set up a framework so I don't mess that up. But since this one I have a pretty good idea. It's a little different. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do now is since we have the framework going on, we're really mostly gonna just kind of search around and kind of finish this up by putting in like more detail. And like I was saying, that's where a lot of that stuff, a lot of the style comes through. I think I'm gonna put like a thicker line on the outside. I like doing that. Over here, thickening out that line. And I think So gonna really darken up this area over here. Kind of thickening out the lines over here where the teeth are. Right on. And just gonna throw up some finishing kind of touches here for this. That's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Like I said, absolutely sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Sharing really brings back a lot of cool people and helps the channel grow. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Like I said, sharing. They have a quick button below here on the on YouTube where you can share it automatically to Twitter, Reddit, or Facebook, or anything like that sort. Anyways, that is pretty much it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time, all right? Talk to you very soon.